It's about that you can't be trusted. Not about anything sexual. It's all about that you just basically you guys will just do whatever you want. You know what you're doing? You're just really not being mature. That's why I didn't like you. You're not mature. You can't be because otherwise you'll lose the younger people. The younger people are mature. They are a million times more mature. You don't have to prove to them anything. Besides, you can't be contradictory and just be all wholesome and do all these crazy little wholesome things and then turn around and be twisted because they don't get it. It's kind of a lost cause, you know? And putting skull caps on to represent LeBron James. That's a separate spiritual journey. That's how you guys are all tied in together. Everybody wears a little skull cap with a wig on. Who can't see that? It is blatant. I know it. So, everybody wears fake masks. The Rock does. Look at that. What a difference. You can't fool the world forever because basically in the long run, they don't care. They shouldn't. It's not that important. They don't get the salary. And these women out there just basically don't want to lose their jobs. But you know what? It's a scandal here. It really is. It's just basically set up to be a scandal. All along, I'm glad I came here. That would be my idea, I guess. If it's followed me here, it's going to be a scandal. This old hotel. You know, I don't want to have anything to do with these guys. The whole point was I don't want anything sexual. I don't miss anything. I don't want them to be gay. I don't want them to do anything. Really, nothing. I want to be with a gay man. They can worry about their other bullshit now. I have no interest. I was never delusional. Of course not. I don't hang out with guys that basically would do this to me or be just kind of rude or obnoxious. If I did, I must have been blind. I must have been high. Now that I'm clear, hey, while I'm high, I realized basically I made a mistake. I hung out with the wrong people. I should have never even talked to you. I would have never talked to you. I don't care. I mean, there's a lot of people out there with money and they have celebrity, but I wouldn't embarrass them. I didn't come to LA to do all that. It's way above that. There's no possible way in the world I would come here and compromise anybody. So don't play that stereotype. Otherwise, this would have been a scandal 27 years ago, not now. You're just making it one because you can't own up to it. You can't just own up to who you are as a person. You haven't progressed. None of you guys have actually progressed. You haven't really emotionally or spiritually moved anywhere. You're stuck in the 1800s. You're not really anything. You're not. You know, you got a lot of money, but you know where that money goes? To other people, basically, that it's just bullshit. You know what? If you don't have any money, you shouldn't at all. If I met you and didn't have any money, you shouldn't have any money now. And I don't need every single member of the LeBron James family to come out and pretend to be like Jonathan so I can just basically be fooled by every corner. You know what I think about that? You did a disservice to that young man. That man doesn't have an identity. That man's identity is gone. It blends into about 5, 6 people, and you know what the reality is? That would be the truth. To protect what? That any of you can't go to like some sort of gay sex club and like you haven't? Like you don't think the world knows? They can do it, you can do it. They can do it in Dubai. They can do it anywhere. Any guy can go into a different place and have sex with a guy in a glory hole. They could do it and go home to their wives. They can do it, they do it all the time. All the time. So don't think that, it's unusual. And don't pretend like it is when, for a fact, every single one of you knows that each other's lying. Without question. You know about yourself and me, and somebody else is looking at you knowing about themselves and me, and no matter what, you're going to say the same thing, but at the same time you know each other is lying. And you're supporting something that's even worse because you don't even know how bad some of these other guys have been with other guys or what they've done or if anything criminal's happened, and you're representing that. You're just refusing to see that you're facilitating more violence. more anti it's pro hate is what it's pro negligence. I'm not doing this for me. I'm not doing this for me at all. You don't seem to think I'm doing this for your kid. Your kid is going to grow up and decide to do something different, and you're going to have to just turn around and say, when you do support that kid, remember what you did here. You can't now be a hypocrite. And that's going to happen when your nephews, when your friends' kids, you can't reject them because that's going to, show that you weren't very smart back then. You're not smart now. You're not mature. What are you going to do? I don't care. It's nobody's business. Well, if nobody's business, your kid will remember. Don't know. This is history. I'm all over the internet. Nobody's going to forget this. That's why I was obnoxious and rude and everything I did seemed crazy. It has to be. Everything I did would have to be that extreme. Because nothing else would make a difference. I can't trust you. So therefore I had to go through all the way to bypass you. For the trust you got. If you got trust, believe me, it can't be that difficult for me to get it. And my only grievance is that you wouldn't let me go. And you wanted to have a part in helping me when I didn't ask for that. If you got a problem and yet you don't and you want to help me, I don't need your sympathy. I don't need your pity. I pity you in the future and what will happen to you because you're so negligent with people's sensitivity and their feelings. You'll lose people. You'll lose people left and right. Some people die and you just won't. You have no responsibility. You don't have a conscience handling this way. If I have struggled this whole time because of what you're doing to me, get it? I'm struggling because of what you've done to me. I'm struggling because you won't stop doing something to me, for me, to impress the world that you can do something to help me when you did this in the first place. And you can't. I don't care if people don't believe me or not. I will go down on record saying